Oh, this damn season 25 of Big Brother US continues to be so abysmal to me. I would usually say that it's limping along towards its finale here this long season, but it's way past limping. This season is not injured. This season was in a freak accident. And this season is in a coma, and we're all just waiting to wake up at the end and see what disappointing winner we get, because that is where we are. I had a video earlier this season during the zombie twist talking about how Big Brother US is broken thanks to production. And we just continue to get example after example about why this game doesn't even matter anymore. They've done such a sloppy job this season with their twists, but I don't know if it's sloppy, because for years now I've talked about production and how it usually seems like they literally try their hardest to make this show suck. It's like they try to make this show suck. It all started when Jag was saved after being voted out unanimously thanks to a random power used by Matt to save Jag. But that got worse once the zombie twist happened, because Cam got back in after he too was voted out unanimously. So we had two players voted out unanimously, purposefully by production. There were votes for both, and Jag never left the house because of the twist, but he was still voted out unanimously. And then Cam was too, and then they were both back in the game at the same time. So it was like a reward for two players to be voted out unanimously. Not even a real battle back for either of them. So it was just, hey, they're back in the game even though they were voted out unanimously. And then they go and do that secret HOH twist last week, which I also talked about that, and how production botched that too by making it a physical comp that only a few people actually had a chance to win it, and it was Jag. And what does Jag do with secret HOH? Well, it's not a secret at all. It was a secret for about a minute, and then eventually the entire house knew that Jag was a secret HOH. Now, when Big Brother Canada did this, they made it so that the secret HOH had to secretly throw the next HOH. But no, not Grodner, not Meehan. They go and let Jag participate in the next HOH. Despite him botching being a secret and the whole house knowing, Jag then wins HOH again. So Jag gets to cheat the system, being the first person ever to be an HOH in back-to-back weeks, unless it's, the final four, because that's how the game's always been at final four, because at final three, anybody could be HOH. But now Jag gets rewarded twice, because production sucks, and he was voted out unanimously, but now he can be an HOH back-to-back. And to make matters worse, if Jag doesn't go home in the double, which I doubt happens because of the way everything is set up right now, we might have a third Jag HOH. We might have 3 weeks of Jag being HOH. And I just think it is absolutely broken. I look at this season, and if anybody who is unbiased and not a stan looks at this season, they see how terrible the game looks. Because for years, casting has been broken with this show. We've all talked about it, how they cast like shit for many different reasons. We talk about how the episodes have sucked on this show for years now, because the edit is usually not even true. They don't do a very good job of painting almost anyone's games. And now, the final thing is broken. And I don't think there's any going back. The game itself, the meta is broken, because nothing matters. Nothing matters. You can be voted out unanimously, get back in the game without a battle back. You can be HOH in back-to-back weeks because production either has poor planning or they try and make the season suck. I mean, that's what it feels like. The season sucks. I mean, we can sit here, we can say the first third of the game was very entertaining, and it was. But the last 2/3, 66% of this season, 66% of this long season, sucks. It sucks. This is a bottom tier season, to say the least. The gameplay abysmal, and I think production has wanted this to be the case forever. They've tried to make this show not be a competition show. We've seen them always try and force showmances down our throats. We see them try and force their episodes to be this lame, family-friendly nonsense that the show was never meant to be. And I feel like they are happy with the fact that the game now doesn't matter. Now, the ratings suck, but I don't think we're going to get rid of Grodner and Meehan because, I mean, if they can survive the years of getting shit for all the racial turmoil this show caused, then I highly doubt that they're going to get fired during a writer's strike season. So it's not like we have anything to look forward to next season because production is just bad and inept at their jobs. That's what this all comes down to. And where the game is concerned, it just gets harder and harder to care every single week this season has gone along because there's no players worth watching and there's not going to be a good winner. And now anything we've ever known about Big Brother doesn't matter. You can be HOH back-to-back weeks because production pulls off a twist that they put no thought into. It's like I don't understand anything about the way this show is ran by its production team. Also, we also see online over the past week that everyone and their mothers, everyone and their brothers, everyone and their fellow dumbass past cast members gets online and praises competition wins. Competition wins in a show full of carnival games, in a show full of competitions that always skew in favor towards men. For almost every season of this show, including Canada, there has been a stretch down the stretch of the season where the competitions always favor men because there is too big of a physical element. And we're seeing it again with Jag being able to dominate now, and with Matt not wanting to be HOH, which I don't understand what Matt thinks. I mean, if he makes the end with Jag, I guess Matt has a trump card that, hey, Jag wouldn't have even gotten this far if I wouldn't have saved his ass in the first place after he was voted out unanimously. But the way everybody thinks about the game now, just because Jag's winning competitions, they might still give him the win. Just for winning competitions. Even though at its heart, this is supposed to be a social game with strategy. And if you look at Jag's social game throughout this entire season, it has been awful in every single way. It can continue that way right now because if he does get his way this week and Blue goes home and then Blue finds out that Jag turned on him, even though Blue's gotten warned by almost everyone this season, but she continues to be dumb about it, maybe she'll be bitter against Jag because of poor jury management. But regardless of that, we saw Turner from last season, this idiot, come out and say Cherie is a worthless player because she doesn't win competitions, even though Cherie controlled the first third of the game without winning competitions. And now she is in controlling the social game without winning competitions. But because we've all been so skewed by a bunch of nobodies from past casts like Turner, who think that the competitions are just so important, and don't get me wrong, they're important at the end game. The competitions become very important down the stretch, but this is a social game. And there should be strategy in this game. It's a strategy game as well. You wouldn't know it by this season because there's almost been no strategy this entire season. It's just been everybody playing the same way, everybody ratting out everybody the entire season. But it's supposed to have elements of strategy and elements of good social play. Now, this season's not a good example of that, but this is what the show has become because of bad producing, because of bad casting, and then you have to hear past bad casted cast members talk about things that they don't know anything about because their games were almost non-existent either. Turner got to the end because he was dragged to the end because Turner last season sat there and let everyone dictate his game for him. He was a pushover if you go back and watch all that. And so Corey is now getting questioned, getting interviewed, talking about how he mostly only respects Matt and Jag's game because, Jag's a winner. He wins competitions. I don't know. I just can't sit here and we watched last week. We watched Jag be a secret HOH, not keep it a secret at all, when he could have used the secret HOH to get out Corey and maybe actually have a good social game, but instead he decides to get all the blood on his hands by telling the entire house he's the secret HOH, and Corey's gonna praise it for him because Corey's gonna praise Jay because Corey has this big ego, and I think Corey thinks, well, Jag's the one that got me out, so I have to praise Jag's game or I'm gonna look bitter. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit who wins the season. I don't give a shit about this cast. They all suck outside of Suri. To me, I mean, I do like Blue too out of everyone left, and actually I don't hate Cam as much as a lot of people do. Everyone else though, at least post jury, because everybody knows I love Izzy, but post jury, these people suck, and the season sucks, and this week is going to be boring once again, because we got people like Blue, even though I do like her, who has just been oblivious to Jag's real intentions, because I don't know why, honestly. I mean, everybody in the house, literally everybody in the house, and their mother, because Jared warned her too, and now Suri has warned Blue, and Jag and Matt aren't for her, and she still doesn't believe them. So anyway, Blue and America have been nominated by Jag, who has been able to be HOH in back-to-back weeks because the game is broken, and Blue's the target, even though she doesn't believe that she is.